Welcome back, nerds, to the channel. Today, we're covering something I really care a lot about, and that is handhelds. I have been just absolutely loving my time with handhelds in 2025, and I wanted to do a tier list video about handhelds and ranking them specifically on how well I think they're utilized in 2025. So, welcome back to the channel. Let's just get into it, guys. I have just been loving handheld so much, and I have a lot of nostalgia and just joy wrapped up in handheld specifically. They call back to a time in gaming where things felt innocent, they felt freeing away from being plugged into a specific room. You could just go anywhere with them. So today we're gonna rank these bad boys. So let's just kind of start off here. Believe it or not, we got PSP Vita on the first item on the docket. I think in 2025 the Vita can actually be expounded on quite greatly. I think you can mod it. Getting your hands on one is it's decent depending on how you're searching for them, but the utility of the Vita is just so much fun. I've had a blast with my Vita. This is the base model, the PSP Vita 1000. I've been on the hunt for a 2000 for quite some time now, but I've had a blast with mine. I've modded mine. And the homebrew scene, the apps, the games, it is just amazing. So I'm actually putting Vita in an S rank. And I think it's well deserved. Very, very well deserved. But the next item on our list is the Game Boy Advance. Again, all of these are being ranked in its utility for the current year, 2025. So I'm going to say the Game Boy Advance, again, it can be expounded on. I've seen a lot of people replacing the screen with a backlit unit, upgrading batteries. There's a lot of great owns to the Game Boy Advance. So if you do hardware upgrades, it just becomes an absolute unit. I personally think, even without the upgrades, the Game Boy Advance, the form factor is solid. I actually prefer the Game Boy Advance over the SP because of the buttons. It just feels more tactile. It feels a little bit more gritty. I really like the Game Boy Advance. So I'm actually putting the Game Boy Advance at A. I love the Game Boy Advance. Really good console. All right, next. Now, I don't know if this is the right way to interpret this image, but I'm seeing here what looks like a Switch without a dock. So I'm going to assume that's what that is. And also without Joy-Cons. So I'm assuming you mean base Switch without Joy-Cons. I'm not really sure how to interpret that. If I understand this correctly, I'm just going to put the Switch in this state as a C. I'm not really sure what the intention of that is. So yeah, that'll just be a C. Oh wait, I see a regular Switch in there. We're just going to remove this altogether. There's no point for that one even be there. Okay, original Game Boy. When it released, revolutionary, but in 2025, it's pretty limited. Even with extensive modding, it really is kind of held back. So I'm not gonna say it's vomit worthy, but I am gonna put it in a C. It is not held up great. The next one here, again, I don't even know what this one is, so I don't feel like it's fair for me to rate it. It looks like it's it's a Game Gear, Sega Game Gear. I don't have any experience with that. It's not very fair for me to even rate that item. So I'm going to be very, very fair today. Why are there duplicates? That's so strange. Okay, 3DS XL. Oh my goodness, dude. One, it has held up great since its release in 2014, 2015, maybe. It is just amazing. Even without mods, it is. The form factor, the screens, everything is just beautiful about this console. I think the 3DS XL deserves to be S tier. Now, when you factor in the other parts of the 3DS, if you mod it, do like shell swaps, the console is just absolutely amazing. I actually just got a shell swap for mine. I'll probably do a video about it, but 3DS XL, amazing console, absolutely amazing. Let's move to the next one, the Switch Lite. In 2025, I think it's mid, honestly. It's beaten out so easily by other handhelds. It's pretty mid right now. You can do certain exploits if you want to install chips, but I don't know. I think having the ability to swap out Joy-Cons is kind of just a superior experience, in my opinion. So yeah, Game Boy Color. Okay, so Game Boy Color is interesting. There's been a resurgence in Game Boy Color support recently. Prices go for like $125 used from what I've been seeing. I love the buttons on the Game Boy Color. Very similar to the Game Boy Advance, actually, just minus the shoulder buttons. I think the Game Boy Color has done quite well. For 2025, if you have a good game library, it can be fun. When you throw in things like screen upgrades, it really does become just an amazing unit. It is held back, though, because it doesn't have the ability to play other titles in the Game Boy Advance library, which is kind of the draw. If you're going to mod any kind of handheld unit of that time, you might as well go for the Advance to give you that larger game library. So I'm going to put a Game Boy Color actually in a C. I know I have a huge heart for the Game Boy Color. It's unfortunate. The next item, it's called an Evercade. I've never played that, so again, I don't feel comfortable rating that item at all. SP. This is going to be controversial, but please hear me out. SP and its form factor, it's great. It's got a better screen. It's got cooler portability. It's got the folding feature. It's held back by the fact that it just, the buttons, in my opinion, they just missed the mark. They feel fragile. You can obviously do upgrades to it. Shelf swaps, that sort of thing, better battery, better screen upgrades and whatnot. I personally think in 2025 that the SP is actually held back by the buttons, which is a very important thing for form factor. I think it's beaten out by the Advance. So I'm actually putting the SP as a B tier item. All right, let's move on. Again, we have another item here. Don't know what that is. Don't want to rate it. Oh yes, the original 2DS, the doorstop model, I call them. They are cool. They're a bit more rugged. I do like that. Don't like the hand placement whatsoever. Even with extensive mods, I do not enjoy the 2DS. I'm gonna put that as trash. Sorry. Just not a great unit. Nope. We've already rated the Vita. I'm not sure why that keeps appearing here. Okay, the Steam Deck. Don't care what version it is. The ability to bring your PC games on the go, even if it's limited to just Steam-approved titles, pretty impressive. You can do mods, you can play your Switch titles. Pretty impressive. I think the Steam Deck, in all of its glory, that is an S ranked item. S tier, baby. That is, it is on my wish list. I want one of these so bad. I've played with them before, but man, having my own would just be so amazing. Oh, thank you. Oh, I would love that so much. I would love that so much. It's not on the budget right now, but maybe one day. Again, what is this? The N-Gauge. My neighbor had this growing up. I cannot speak to it since I didn't own it, but my buddy did in fact own this. The original PSP. I have a strong case for this one. One, the form factor is great. The screen size is fantastic. Even in its base form, it's got an incredible library. Very advanced for its time, and it still holds up quite well in 2025. Is it as good as the Vita? No, it's not. But if you mod it, it is a very, very useful device to have. I love it a lot. I've actually been trying to get my hands on a 3000 model. I love the pure Glacier White model a lot. So yeah, modded or unmodded, I actually am an advocate that the PSP is actually an A ranked item. It's just a great console. Love it a lot. Switch OLED. Okay, I'm going to speak to this first from an unmodded perspective. The OLED model is great. I love it a lot. I've gotten a lot of life out of mine. Love the upgraded screen. Love the size, the feel of it. I like it a lot. It's harder to mod unless you know what you're doing. Again, mods, it's not required, right? But I am speaking to that in the sense of what you can do with it in 2025. I'm going to put it as an A item because I have not found anybody locally that can mod my OLED. Again, that's okay. But what does give it a high rating is the fact that it's a Switch OLED. It's a great device. Moving on to the original DS. Oh my gosh, so nostalgic. I went from the Game Boy Advance straight to the DS in life, and I thank my uncle for that. He was the one that bought it for me, and I'm just really, really thankful for that gift when I was a child. Original DS is really fun. It's got some real real heft to it. It feels durable, feels hefty. Although it does pale in comparison to the subsequent titles of the DS line. So with that, I have to give it a B. It's great for nostalgia, but it just really pales in comparison, which really pains me. The original Switch model, I've already kind of spoken to what I need to about the Switch in general, but I think the Switch really pales in comparison to the OLED. In fact, I think, oh wait, hold on. Sorry, it depends on which version of this is. If it's the V2 and it's harder to mod, say it's a B. If it's the V1 and you've got it modded, then it could be a S rank. I'm gonna do the difference between them two. But putting it on A, that feels like it's doing disservice to OLED. Oh, that's tough. That's really tough, actually. I think I'll put that there, and I'm gonna move OLED up to A, because OLED it's a pretty impressive device. I'm not gonna lie, it's very impressive. Now, obviously, there's a lot of consoles that aren't on this particular tier list. This is just one that I found on Tier Maker, like the 2DS model, the new 2DS Nintendo DS. It's a great console, actually. In fact, that one actually might be the 3DS, depending on how you like your form factor. If you like a fully closed shell, 2DS is actually very impressive. But this is my list for handheld consoles. I cannot speak more highly of a Vita in 2025. It's such a great console to have. Same thing with the 3DS. Whether you get it modded or unmodded, it's a solid device. Steam Deck, super solid. I absolutely love the Steam Deck a lot. But this is my ranking. I'm really curious to know what you all think. Let me know in the Reddit. You can find that in the description below, how you would rank these, and I'll even include the link so you can take it and send me screenshots on Reddit. Don't forget to like, subscribe, that sort of thing. But also, I've been really leaning into my time as a content creator, and I'm actually going to just shamelessly say, if you want to support this channel in a really meaningful way, consider becoming a paid YouTube member, which you'll get perks with that. You can see all the perks in that particular page, but it would actually mean a lot to me. I'm really trying to lean into being a more engaging content creator, creating content more frequently. So if you want to support this channel, that'd be really helpful. So again, check out the Discord, link in the description, the Reddit, and if you want to be a paid member, that would actually mean so much to me. And for those of you who have been supporting this channel, thank you. I love you guys. You guys are so incredible. I've been loving making videos that just resonate with me more as a gamer. So it's been really freeing for me to just create what I want. And the fact that you guys come along for the journey is so humbling. I love you guys. You guys are incredible. So until next time, I'll see you around on YouTube. All right, bye-bye. Have a great day.